back again. So for those who don't know, I founded and I run Infinite Mass, which is a Nottingham Carnival section. We are part of Chocolate Nation Mass, and we've been on the road. Well, if COVID didn't happen, this would have been our 6th year, but we've been in business for 6 years, and I just love Infinite Mass. Love Infinite Mass. Funnily enough, Infinite Mass came about as a suggestion from my brother. Before Infinite Mass had even started, I used to be on the committee of Bajan Revelers, which was a Notting Hill Carnival band. And it was great being with them. I was with them for years. I learned so much about Carnival, from creating costumes to the actual logistics to do with putting the truck on the road, public liability, having insurance, the food, all of that stuff. So being on that committee really taught me everything I know to go forth and run Infinite Mass the right way. So when Bajan Revelers disbanded, I was really bummed out, and I was like, oh, how am I gonna create and how am I going to, you know, put out something for Notting Hill Carnival, because I'm really there for the culture. I love the cultural part of Notting Hill Carnival. It's my culture. So my brother, one summer we was in Barbados. Seems like all the good ideas come from being home in Barbados for the summer. But he was like, why don't you just start your own section? And I was like, that is a very good idea. So I put together a business plan. I researched everything that I needed to know, and I approached Chocolate Nation Mass, and they said yes. The rest was history, as they say. The design concept for me as a process is really nice. I think it's because I'm a creative by heart. So I love, when I say love, I love the process of creating a story around the theme, and then creating the costumes out of the theme, and making sure that the photo shoot is in correlation with the theme, and then the marketing and the branding all comes together nicely. So for me, creating concepts for each year is a seamless process. I really enjoy it and I really like it. And yeah, I kind of think of them like 2 years in advance, so I would already know what I'm doing next year whilst I'm in production for this year, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's pretty smooth, and I really enjoy the process of the themes and the designs and stuff like that. Jumping into designing was comfortable but uncomfortable at the same time. So when Infinite Mass first started, I was lucky enough to have a designer on board, and I used to brief her on what I wanted in terms of colours. I would sketch out a few things, and she would go forth and design, and then come back and I'll be like, oh, it's amazing. It was always amazing. But then obviously life happened, she moved on. So last year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a stab at designing something. And it wasn't too far gone, because obviously I was with Bajan Revelers before, so I used to get my hands dirty there. And when I go on stage to sing, I can never ever find anything that I want to wear. So I find that I deconstruct stuff that I have already in my wardrobe, or sew things on or stick things on and stuff like that. So creating a costume wasn't daunting. It wasn't a scary thing to me. I think the most scary thing was what other people would think, because I wasn't sure how people would receive me stepping into the designer world being a singer. But I'm glad I done it, because last year was amazing. Everybody gave me good feedback for the costumes, and this year I look at what I created and I'm like, wow, like I truly made myself proud. So yeah, that's how I jumped into the designer world. Memorable moments. Memorable moments. for sure, every year when we cross the stage is always a memorable moment for me. It doesn't matter how big, how small the band is at the time. I am always so happy when we cross the stage, because it's like all your hard work, all your blood, your sweat, your tears, you see across the stage, and it's like, hallelujah. But yeah, so that is definitely a memorable moment. And my second memorable moment with Infinite Mass is when we partnered with Superdrugs to do some carnival looks for them. It was like amazing. I was so humbled when they called us. So yeah, just walking into Superdrugs and seeing us on the front of their magazines in every single store was like, I was like, oh my God, that's my baby. The biggest challenge. I think the biggest challenge of Mass is being, you know, competitive with your designs and what you have to offer as a section. Because let's be real, there are so many new bands and sections and designers popping up, which is great, because back when I first started, there was not that many people to choose from, and now there's so many people, which is so good, but also it makes the pool a bit smaller, so you have to make sure you bring your A game every single time, and you have to make sure you have that competitive edge, if you know what I mean. So I guess that's a challenge, to make sure that you stay fresh and you stay on the trends and you stay on the colors every single year. I would say that was probably the biggest challenge. But even though it's a challenge, it's also quite good, because it forces you to be innovative every year, if that makes sense. It forces you to create fire.